So keep in mind, if you're absent because of sports, I can do the recording and then post it. Okay, so a function is when each element in the domain is paired with exactly one element of the range. Okay, and I'll explain what that looks like. Here's an example of a mapping. Okay, and then this is like a kind of a wavy curve. This is also an example of a function. So, well, I'm recording it, so you can just take notes for now or just follow along. Okay, we want to determine whether each relation is a function, and then we're going to explain. So, what do you think? So, -2.
It's not a function.
You think it's not a function? Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to, let's write out what the ordered pairs would be. So, -2 goes to -8.
0 and 8.
0 goes to 8.
And then 2 to 0.
2 goes to 0.
And 4 goes to 8.
And 4 goes to 8. Now,
that is a function.
It is a function. Now, let me explain why, okay? What we want to look at are the x values. Look at all the x values. If all the x values are different, then it is a function.
I think I actually took it home.
Okay, so all the x, you see? Now, don't worry about the y values. Remember, the x values are the ones that we put first. -2, 0, 2, and 4. They're all different values. So if that's the case, this is a function. So this is a function. Even though the y, 0 goes to 8 and 4 goes to 8, that's okay. That's allowed. We just can't have the same x value with different y values. Okay, that's the key.
Well, why is it supposed to be the other way around?
So we have, what we're going to learn is something called the vertical line test. Okay.
Oh, I did.
You want me lost on the word
Wait.
vertical?
So Jack, hold on to that thought until we get to that. Yeah.
Can you just like look at the domain and like tell which if they're the same or not, and then
Oh, yeah.
just like
Yeah.
if it's a function?
Okay, a real quick example of what would not be a function is, let's say I had a 2 and a 3 and a -1, a 2 and a 4. Let's just use that as an example. If I had 2 pointing to -1 and 2 pointing to 2 and the 3 going to the 4, this would not be a function. Okay? So you can't have the same x value pointing to two different
but you
y
could have
values.
two different x values pointing to one y value.
That's the key.
You're all smart.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay. Let's take a look at the next one where we have the ordered pairs. What are we looking at? The x values or the y values?
X.
X. Okay, so focus on the x values.
Don't write x.
It is a function. It is
No,
a
it's
function.
not.
Okay, do we have any repeating x values?
No.
Yes,
No.
3 stupid.
Oh yeah.
It's not a function.
Not a function.
No can do.
Oh.
Shh, guys. Not a function.
Because there's a repeat.
3 is repeated.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Okay, the last one is a table of values. So now all the x values are on the top, right? So we're looking at -7,
That's not
-4.
a function.
Oh,
it is a
function.
function.
Good job, Rick.
This one's a function.
Okay, raise your hand if you think it is a function. Raise your hand if you think it is a function.
It is a function.
Okay, raise your hand if you don't think it's a function.
It's a function.
It is a
That John's a
function.
It is a
Okay, what's the reason all the x values are what?
Changing my shoes right now.
Different.
That's the jump.
All right, let's take a look at example 3. So let's turn to the next page. Okay,
Miss
here.
Casey, what's the temperature outside?
It's 90. No, 80.
It's like mid-80s probably.
The highest 90 minus
85.
86.
I said 85.
The high is 91 today.
What? Okay, now I can. Should I change into shorts or not?
Okay, I need you to
Sorry,
pay
I'll stop.
attention and focus on the lesson.
Just a math class. Just
If we can't pay attention, I'm gonna ask you to go see the dean. Okay?
Miss Ball?
Yes, Miss Ball. And if
Wait,
Miss Ball's
is
not there, then
Mr.
you can see Mr. Kier or one of the other deans.
What is Miss
Okay,
Ball?
I need you guys to zip it. Okay, there are 3 lunch periods at a school. During first period, 352 students eat. Okay, I'll explain. So that's first period. Second period, 304 students eat. And during the third period, 391 students eat. So just so you know, obviously we live in Southern California where the weather is very nice. So we can go outside, we have lots of space, but some places like the East Coast where they have winters and cold weather and rain, they have to eat inside. So they have to make sure that they have enough room. So for example, when I was in high school, there were 3 different lunch periods. So you didn't necessarily eat lunch in Pennsylvania. So I didn't necessarily have lunch period with all of my friends. So
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I wish I grew up in the East.
okay, so here we go.
Yeah.
I was born
That's
there.
that's what I'm moving to when I'm 18.
Manhattan.
Me too. Guys, let's focus. Guys, let's focus. Good job, Jordan. Good job.
We want to make a table showing the number of students for each of the 3 periods. So,
There's only 2 tables.
okay, how would we label this? So I'm going to put, let's do the lunch period in the first
And then
row.
number of students.
and number of students in the second.
Good job, Kobe. Thank you, Jordan.
You're welcome.
Okay, so how many different lunch periods were there?
3.
3. So we're going to label 1, 2, and 3.
And then for the first
Three.
square, you did
Okay.
352.
Good. 352 in the first.
And then 304, and then 391.
Good. 304.
Okay, so
Good stuff, Evan.
Great.
Yeah, my friend.
Okay,
Can I borrow a
so
pencil,
boom.
please?
Not good.
Yes. Stop copying me.
And the domain
You stop.
is 1, 2, 3, and the function is all those other numbers.
Okay, so one-
I
What
can't
if you know this? I'm genuinely
I don't know
confused.
how there's no light.
Because I was in.
Okay, so domain is going to be 1, 2, and 3. And the range is going to be the 352.
352 to 391.
There you go.
And the ordered pairs is
Wait, why
first
did it light?
1, comma 352.
Why did you do those little braces things?
It's just the way that the notation would be used for domain and range. If you want to just put parentheses around, that's okay. I'm not
Yeah.
picky about that.
I don't know how to do
Can I say something?
Okay, go ahead, Evan.
So the ordered pairs is 1, comma 352
Good.
in a parenthesis, and then it's 2 and 304, and 3 and 391.
Good. So remember with the ordered pairs, we want to match each of our x values with the y value.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Oh, got it. And for the graph, you have to put that little 0 dot.
Okay. Now we want to make a graph. Now we want to be real careful to make sure that we label the graph. So those of you that are in bio or earth science, sometimes we have these graphs and we have to label them. Okay, what should we put on
1,
the
2, and
bottom?
3. 1, 2, and 3, but
Okay, what are 1, 2, and 3 representing?
lunch period.
Okay, so I'm going to put lunch periods in the bottom. And what went along the side? It was
The amount of kids.
number of kids or number of students.
How you know I'm
Can you put
descendant
hashtag?
of
Yeah, let's
Albert
switch to
Einstein.
hashtag.
Yeah, you can use hashtag. That's fine.
I don't
Okay.
get though how you would do like.
Okay, let's talk about how we could number.
You just put the numbers. in
What's the smallest number that we have?
304.
304. What's the biggest number that we have?
391.
Okay, so how would you label? What
Oh,
do you think, Joe? Okay,
I
go.
would probably start it at the bottom at 300, and then the top would be like 400.
Okay, we could do that. So I'll start 300. How much should we go up by each time, though?
25.
10.
25.
Okay, if we go by 10 though,
Oh yeah,
Jack.
25. I'm tripping.
Okay, so the next one will be 325. What's after 325?
350, 375, 400.
Yes, sir, Cody.
Good job, Kobe. Thank you. Good job.
Good job, Cody.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you, Heaven. Vote for Kobe.
Okay, so for 1 comma 352, it's just going to go a little bit above that line there, right? So it's going to go 1 like
You
there.
have to put a dot in the middle. Oh wait, no you don't.
Okay, so then 2 goes with 304.
Yeah.
So that's going to go down here, right? Just above 300.
Okay, so boom.
It's old. There must be some
Where would
outside
391 go?
I got you.
I go up like
Right below the top.
You're
Right
right.
below the
Yeah.
top.
Like here? Oops, wrong place.
Done.
Here.
There you go.
Yay.
okay, so boom. Who? I should.
Aaron, that's so much risk,
Guys.
I just said risk.
bro. Aaron, I really like that.
What?
Appreciate it.
I go after.
You've already left twice,
Yes,
so you're going to have to stay
I
now.
feel like
wants to
3,
go.
4 people gone, and you left.
Okay, we're going to continue. Okay, this is what I was talking about, vertical line test.
Oh wait, no, let's do this.
Okay, everybody just really, Jordan, I'm going to move you, because you and Jonah can't seem to stop talking. You guys can't stop talking. You're fine.
Good job, guy.
Okay. Vertical line test. Here we go. Vertical line test. This is how we tell if it will be a function. It's a different way.
What's
So-
your vertical line test anyway?
Yeah, this is the vertical line test. Okay. If a vertical line intersects the graph
Enter what?
more than one place. Okay,
Sorry, she's reading it.
I'm literally reading.
Oh.
Okay, you can read. Okay. If it intersects the graph more than once, then it is not a function.
Oh.
Okay, so here's an example. This is what we call, it looks like a U, but we call it a parabola.
Oh,
If-
we learned that last year.
If I were to draw a vertical line, meaning right up and down,
It would touch.
it only touches one point, right?
And that's a function. But if it touches both
So this is, yes, this is a function. Now,
on one side,
what happens if I try to draw a vertical line here?
It would
both.
touch it.
No, it would touch both.
So
It
it's not a
crosses
function.
two places,
It's not a function.
so it's not a function.
Oh.
Wait, I'm confused.
Wait,
Me too.
hold up.
Okay.
Oh, the right.
I don't understand.
I have a question.
I would go out.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it like
Okay,
So
let's
first-
work on raising our hand because we can't.
for the third one? If you put it like straight down the middle, wouldn't it touch the 2 points?
Well, technically this,
Like it's a trick question.
that's an open, do you see how that's like not filled in? So if I draw a line
Is
here,
that on purpose?
it's on purpose. It's on purpose.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, this
Don't
one-
worry, I'm not going to give you any like real tricky ones like that on the test. Okay, all we need to do is determine whether the relation is a function. Yes or no. Okay, let's raise our hand, Kobe.
Alright, so the first one is not a function, I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because the line will run through and it'll touch both sides.
Good. So it crosses two places, so that's a no. Okay, how about B? Want to raise your hand, Rachel?
It is a function.
This is a function. So no matter where I draw the vertical line, this is a line, so it's only going to cross at one point.
C is
Okay, let's raise our hand.
Sorry.
Raise your hand. Okay, Evan?
C is a function.
This is a function. Yes, so it doesn't matter where I draw, right? It's only going to cross one place. Jackson?
Because I think that D is a function because actually
No, it is. Wait, no, it's not.
Is there any place if I drew a vertical
Yes.
line,
Oh,
it's
no,
going
it's
to...
not. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it would.
Why?
Yeah, because it's because even though it's like,
There's
It's
two
curving,
dots right under
but it's not.
What if I drew the vertical line through
Yeah,
here?
so it's not a function.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
not a function.
Oh, that originally then. Okay. I'll go here.
Okay. There's one place where there's 2 points, one on top of the other. If this point wasn't here, then it would be yes, it would be a function.
There's one more
Oh.
page left of the packet.
Okay.
Are we gonna get a new note packet for the note packet?
Wait, I have a question. Do we have to turn this in at one point? Because I.
No, it's okay. You don't need to worry about that.
Do we have to worry about it?
Hold on one.